Hello and welcome to Access Asia. I'm Delano D'Souza. Coming up on the show this week, the son of Asia's richest man ties the knot. After festivities around the world and across many months, Anant Ambani and Radhika Merchant get married in an opulent and loud ceremony in Mumbai. 2 years after Ferdinand Marcos Jr. was elected president, many in the Philippines are still waiting for the right to divorce. And a manga character over in Japan inspiring high school kids to take up volleyball. More about haiku coming up in the show. Now, it started with a pre-wedding in the Indian city of Jamnagar in the month of March. Then there were festivities in the Mediterranean between Italy and France. And now the wedding of Asia's richest man to his childhood sweetheart appears to be wrapping up finally. Mukesh Ambani's youngest son, Anant, marrying Radhika Merchant in India's financial capital, Mumbai. The city's residents, they've been reacting.
It's their wealth, but it is beyond ridiculous what they're doing. Like, yeah, you have wealth, but yeah, we get it, you have wealth.
It's helping the economy. It's extravagant, but it's fine. I love that they're calling international artists to India to actually perform for the Indian public.
To talk more about the wedding and why the spectacle, we can bring in Time Magazine's Ashta Rajvanshi, who joins us on the show. Thank you for joining us on France 24. Now, Indians had to go all out for their weddings. The Ambanis have two. Last year, I believe the industry soared to some $75 billion. But we've never seen anything like this before, have we?
Yeah, that's right. This is not just being seen as the biggest Indian wedding of all time, but perhaps even the biggest wedding of all time ever. I saw an estimate today that said this wedding was going to cost about $600 million. And that's a huge amount of money for any wedding, really.
The wedding, pre-wedding events have seen pop stars like Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, Andrea Bocelli. The family seems eager to want to publicize this event. Why?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think, as you were sort of mentioning before, Indian families always take pride in having a big celebration for family weddings, but this is taken to another level, and there are reasons for why Mukesh Ambani might want the world to know that his youngest son's getting married. The first being, as Asia's richest man, he's really flaunting his status, his wealth, his social capital to the world. I think there's also a lot of eyes on this wedding. They've been promoting on social media pictures of events from the wedding since January and March. And so I think people have a lot of curiosity about how this family will celebrate the wedding. But I think the largest reason really is because it's a sign of his wealth and his mark on the world as Asia's richest man.
And also they got people like Kim Kardashian to attend.
That's right, yeah. Kim Kardashian's in attendance. It's really not clear why, because she has no real ties to the family. But one can assume, looking at, the grand slate of artists and entertainment performance artists who have come to this wedding, that Kim Kardashian is, there as a status of symbol. And,
Indeed.
It's Kim Kardashian and it's the UK Prime Minister Tony Blair. So it's a wide range of guests.
Wide range of guests. Kim Kardashian, of course, has a huge following on Instagram. I want to talk about the clout of the Ambanis, because Mumbai police have released a traffic advisory warning the city's residents of disruptions due to this wedding. They're in fact calling it a public event. Earlier this year, the status of Jamnagar Airport, where they had one of their pre-wedding festivities, the status of the airport got international status for a couple of days. How much sway does this family really have in India?
The sway is honestly massive. I mean, the fact that they can change overnight the status of domestic airport to international, as you said, they can get roads to close. Antilla, the skyscraper that they live in, is the largest and the tallest skyscraper in Mumbai. I mean, this family can really go above and beyond. Even if when we're talking about the guest list, getting all of these Bollywood celebrities, all the tech billionaires of the world in one venue for one event, that's not an easy feat. And, I think just looking at that, we can say that this family can not just use their money to get things done, but also their sway. And one of the biggest reasons for that is the fact that Mukesh Ambani, the Reliance chairman and the father of the groom, has a lot of influence, not just on Indian society, but also in Indian politics and in Indian business. So his reach really goes so wide that sometimes people even say that India is now ruled by the billionaires. It's the billionaire Raj.
I was thinking that if somebody tried to do that in Paris, publicize, make an event public and block off roads for a wedding, there would be a protest and possibly even a riot. I mean, the fact that the state is allowing this to happen goes to show who's calling the shots.
Yeah, I mean, we can discuss the reasons for why, but I think one of the largest reasons is the fact that, his wealth, the way that it has soared, it's really soared because of his ties with the government. And if the leader of the country is really propping you up, then I think it's safe to say that you can execute a lot of power in the country.
Asha Rajvanshi, thank you so much for joining us on the program today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, when Ferdinand Marcos Jr. was elected president in the Philippines, he pledged to legalize divorce. 2 years later, the legislation has still not passed. However, a bill has been tabled. It means there could be changes in the law by the end of next year. The Philippines, along with the Vatican, is the only country to ban divorce. Legalizing the practice is bound to send shockwaves in the deeply conservative country where the Catholic Church looms large.
These two women both married violent men. Cecile's husband died in 2017, but Avelina is still officially married to her abuser because divorce is illegal in the Philippines.
He hit me, and I had 2 black eyes. Then he banged my head against the wall until it bled. And he tried to strangle my son while threatening him with a knife.
Father, pasalamat kami sa pagkain na inihanda niyo sa amin.
The Philippines, a strongly Catholic country, and the Vatican are the only 2 states that ban divorce.
On this medical certificate, it's written that I had a 3-centimeter bruise on my forehead, a real hematoma.
But Avelina was unable to escape her husband's violence and was forced to stay with him until 2010, when he left her for another woman.
Until I am divorced, I can't be happy or feel free.
It's a freedom that many Filipinos are determined to win. This group of pro-divorce activists are taking their campaign to Parliament. Their hero is a lawmaker who has made divorce rights his lifelong cause.
Sa ating divorce bill.
Thank you, sir. Thank you sa pagmamahal sa amin. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you.
At 82, Edsel Lagman believes securing divorce rights will be his final political victory.
I am retiring by next year, and I hope before I retire, this law will be part of the Philippine statute. So this will be a victory for democracy and for the republic.
President Marcos promised to legalize divorce 2 years ago, but the legislation has yet to pass due to opposition from the Catholic Church. Parliament is expected to vote on the law in 2025. Today, people who want to separate from their spouse have only one option: to annul their marriage. The person seeking an annulment must prove their spouse is psychologically incapacitated. Getting an annulment can take years and cost between 2,000 and 10,000 euros.
Our marriage is a forced marriage because I already pregnant. I was thought it was easy to file a declaration of nullity of marriage, but my God, it's a hell. It's a hell for us because it's been a long time, long process, and a big money.
Unable to divorce legally, some women look for other ways out, and that makes them prime targets for scammers. These fake lawyers sell worthless divorce certificates on the street to women who have no idea they're being duped. We film one such meeting with a hidden camera.
Magkano sa'yo divorce? Divorce paper? Paraan natin paper. Oo, gano'n. 3.5 sa'yo. Tapos marriage contract. Okay lang sila nag-divorce.
About 80% of Filipinos are Catholics, and a third of the population opposes divorce. Although the church has condemned the divorce proposal, the country's Congress is expected to pass the bill. That will be welcomed by many Filipinos, especially the 1 in 5 women who are victims of domestic violence.
With national teams poised to perform at the Paris Olympics later this month, one Japanese discipline has got itself an unofficial mascot, a manga character who's got tens of thousands of young children playing volleyball. The Haiku comic was launched in 2012 and has since been made into an anime series and a film, but its most remarkable effect has been in school gymnasiums across Japan. Olivia Salazar-Winspear reports.
A cartoon hero's sporting dreams are now taking flight thanks to his young fans. Undeterred by his relatively modest height, Shoyu's determined to triumph on the volleyball court. A story that clearly resonated with millions of young readers, the Haikyuu manga has become a hit on the page and on the screen, inspiring a whole new generation of players.
One day I visited my friend who is a member of this volleyball club. There I read the Haikyuu manga for the first time and I found it interesting. In the manga, the characters do their best to perform and keep the ball in play. I told that friend I wanted to join the club as well, so the next day I went to see what it was like, and everyone was really nice to me.
There's not much awareness about elementary school volleyball. But since manga is most widely read by young children, kids around this age are more likely to be inspired by Haikyuu to start playing volleyball, which in turn helps popularize the sport as a whole.
The Haikyuu effect means that membership of boys' high school volleyball clubs has gone from 35,000 to 50,000 over the last decade in Japan. Currently ranked 4th globally, the national volleyball team last tasted victory in 2012 when the women's team won bronze at the London Olympics. Prior to that, the men's team got a gold in Munich in 1972 and the women topped the podium in 1964 in Tokyo. As the Paris Olympics approach, many believe the Japanese side could have the edge thanks to their new French coach Philippe Blanc, and maybe even from their unofficial mascot, the little giant Shoyu.
That's it for this edition of Access Asia. From all of us on the team, thank you very much for watching.